I think everyone has at least once thought about being as smart and interesting as many characters from different movies. You probably imagined in your head how cool it would be to become Sherlock Holmes, Thomas Shelby, or even Tyler Durden for a while. But have you ever asked yourself why you need this? Why do you want to be smart? Your answer will probably be something like, to become rich, attractive to the opposite sex, and show everyone that I really know something about it. And this is the first problem: the motivation to be a smart person should not be based on surprising others. You are not a clown, so your motivation should come from your own values and goals. If you really want to be truly smart and interesting, you need to understand what you really want for yourself in order to advance in your development. Improve your skills in different aspects of life. Look at these people again. What do you see? How cool they are. And they have relationships, cars, homes, business, freedom. You probably also want to stop being a slave to your alarm clock and earn a lot of money without doing much, right? You also want to be an attractive person and be popular among other people. To be interested in and loved. This is paramount. What we see in actors triggers our primitive needs in society: recognition, respect, sex, freedom, and independence. Actors in the movie are very professional in this regard, so we want to be like them too. We want the same state as they have, and of course, we need brains for this. If you think that being smart means knowing math at a good level, being a high-class physicist, you are deeply mistaken, my friend. Being smart is about developing your horizons in different directions. That's why I decided to talk about this topic. A few years ago, my horizons were so small that I only focused on common human needs. But go into the store for seeds, sitting with the guys in the yard, and talking about women, without any ideas, plans, or goals. Conversations were only about sex, people, and how unfair the world is. Until I met a person who worked in the IT industry. He was an ordinary employee of a vape shop, and I bought liquids from him because I like to vape. We often talked, and honestly, I was ashamed to look at myself from the outside. This person talked about deeper things in life. He read a lot, and thus could build beautiful thoughts without historical meaning. At that moment, I realized why I was not at his level. I really started to think about the fact that my life was passing by, and I was still doing nothing, wasting my precious time. My true and real immersion in development has begun. And I think you once wanted, and maybe still want, to speak beautifully, correctly, to structure thoughts correctly, to set priorities and goals, and to achieve high values in your life. If you haven't lost your desire for such skills, continue watching this video. Let's move on to practice. Before moving on to advice, you need to first understand who a smart person is. As I mentioned earlier, it is not necessary to be a guru, to know mathematics and physics, and other formulas. They are generally useless here. A smart person is, first of all, a subject who has a broad outlook on life. They know the value of their time and life, and such a person strives to gain new and necessary knowledge. In other words, a smart person is someone who does not stand still in their development. Some people like a stable salary, regular pastime, and precision in life. But those who constantly develop simply cannot live in the same conditions. Nowadays, it is necessary to have skills and knowledge that differ from others, my friend. It is the 21st century, and technology is developing rapidly. The pace of progress is increasing, and competition is emerging. Therefore, it is necessary to be developed, wealthy, and successful. When you do nothing and just sit around, it is impossible. Efforts are needed for this. Nevertheless, many will ask the question, why should I become Sherlock or Steve Jobs? Everything is fine as it is. I am not telling you to become a scientific genius or wonderkind. I am not saying that you are stupid and cannot look at life from a different angle. I want to point you in the direction that will help you develop many skills. Let me give you an example of Charlie. He is an ordinary boy who lives in a happy family. Everything is decided for him, and all problems are solved for him. He is given expensive gifts, and with such help, he moves forward until he is 20 years old. Charlie is now 20, and the time has come for him to move to a new level where he will need to make his own choices regarding his future life. The problem is that Charlie is already used to shifting everything onto others. He is used to having all problems solved for him, and now he realizes that everything depends only on him. Because Charlie did not think about what he would do in the future, he now has constant panic attacks. What if it doesn't work out? What if I don't get results here? What if they don't accept me? Such jumps make him stay in one place. Charlie understands that his parents love him and will support him in difficult situations. It seems that the problem is solved, but it is not. Charlie sits on his parents' shoulders and does nothing to get off them and realize himself in space. He finds a low-paying job and continues to live with his family. It seems that there is nothing wrong with this, but the problem is that Charlie could have done everything during this time to provide for himself, so that he would not need additional support later. If Charlie gets married later, it will hit his finances twice as hard. There's no point in talking about freedom here. Charlie is dependent on his parents and his job, and additional dependence will be on his wife. Why doesn't he try to find new conditions to realize his potential? They live on a shoestring budget. Star's life in this case will only have a negative connotation in the future. If you look at modern families, many live like this. This is the reason for alcoholism, drug addiction, and constant dissatisfaction. People try to numb this pain. Moreover, a person cannot achieve that freedom, realization, and financial independence. I think every reasonable person will have a great desire to be free. And you have this desire taking high priorities. I have no doubt that you want to be happy, enjoy life, make decisions independently, and make choices based on your priorities. What do we come to? The presence of intelligence allows a person to open up space for new opportunities, pave the way to a bright future, manage their time, build a good career, be different from others, decide how to spend their time, and live their life not in vain. Agree that having priorities makes life much easier and better. It is logical that if a decision is made because of you, you will not strive anywhere. Intelligence gives you a great opportunity to take as much good from life as possible, no matter what a person's goals are. Intelligence allows a person to implement even the most difficult ideas. Many say that to achieve any success, you need connections, money, and talent. If you didn't succeed right away, it means you don't have talent. This is a lie. What really gives you results is time, thinking process, and practice. If you pump your brain as you pump your character in Dota, you will pour water on such words as connections, talent only through money. Intelligence is your money, your goals, your success, your well-being, and your happiness. It will depend on how you build your future. And now I think you understand why you need to improve your brain. Therefore, let's move on to the practical part of this video. How can you really become smart? First, start studying self-development books. Not just reading them, but studying them. I know it's boring, but then go and continue to waste your life drinking. What self-development books give you is a deeper understanding of a certain area and advice that has its original meaning. Also, books will help you expand your vocabulary, and if you read letters for a long time, I can confidently say that self-development books help a person not to stand still. On side A and moving forward on the path to self-improvement, the question arises, what should I read? What books should I start with? If the thought of achieving financial independence in a very short period of time has crossed your mind, immediately start looking for information on the internet. Every question should be followed by a constructive thought, thus feeding your brain. If you have questions, do not ignore the answers, even if they concern what tie to wear with a certain suit. The well-known phrase live and learn is really true. Our life is a series of lessons, and we are always learning something and gaining invaluable experience. By eliminating all useless information and replacing it with useful information, you become what you spend your time on. If your day is spent on sitting in pubs, watching funny videos, useless conversations, and messaging, it's no wonder you haven't achieved anything yet. If you want to become a developed person, you need to change everything that is useless to useful and start watching useful articles, videos, training, and audio podcasts instead of watching game walkthroughs and scrolling through absolutely useless news on Facebook. Knowledge is one thing, but practice is almost the most important component of your skills in any activity. You can read thousands of books about seduction, but still not seduce a still one woman. Or you can learn a few terms and apply them in practice, thereby receiving a reward. You can read a lot of information, and I agree with that. But if this information is not used in practice, what is the point? It's like pouring water into a full glass. It makes no sense, and the water from the jug runs out. Therefore, practice, practice, and practice again. Only through practice can we find our way. I previously mentioned that I spoke with a person who was able to turn my life around. He was my stimulus for development. It's that feeling when you realize that you are really stupid. You need to feel it among these people to understand it. Such people not only help you realize your level of development, but also make you move forward. You realize at that moment that you no longer want to be stupid. You no longer want to be limited in your horizons. With this conclusion, we come to the fact that if you want to be developed, you simply need to find at least one person who will surpass you in many aspects. And the most important thing here is not to envy, because envy will eat you from the inside. You need to start admiring such a person, and projecting your thoughts about wanting to be like him will help you move in the right direction. That's why they say that in order to change, you need to change your circle of friends. Such people provide new knowledge and immense motivation to strive for self-improvement instead of sitting idle. If you only go to the Play Market or App Store to download games, you have a very limited perception of the depth of these applications. These places are not only for games, but also for useful applications that can help you develop useful habits, give new advice, work on self-esteem, and fully engage in self-improvement. In addition to these truly useful components, I cannot fail to mention meditation. Why is everyone so focused on meditation? Why do so many videos miss this important habit? American psychologist and specialist in experimental and cognitive psychology, Michael Posner, proved through experiments with participants who meditated daily that meditation not only helps to concentrate, calm down, and lead a conscious life, but also improves cognitive abilities and increases memory capacity. Meditation changes the structure of the brain and therefore the thinking of a person. Meditation is not necessarily a long practice, my friend. It is enough to practice it for 10 or 20 minutes every day to increase your productivity and brain functions. It is a simple habit that I have been practicing for a very long time, and I can say for sure that it helps me live consciously. You can find all the information about meditation on the internet, and maybe someday I will share my practice on this channel. If you think that physically fit people are stupid, I can argue with you. Nowadays, it is said that strength is not intelligence, but it is quite logical for people who consume alcohol, cigarettes, and do not know what a healthy lifestyle is. It has been proven by many experiments that sports have a positive effect on brain processes. So, starting today, do at least 20 push-ups and make this activity a habit. Your body, your health, your brain, and a couple of interesting women who are interested in your physical attractiveness will thank you. Everything I have told you in this video requires a long process of learning. If you want to realize your life, achieve good results, and think like Sherlock Holmes, you need to try hard for it. Everything has its price, so if you want something, be prepared to pay for it with your time and effort. And if you think you cannot achieve any results in becoming truly developed, pumped up, and you think it's hard and you won't be able to do it, that's why you're not smart. Believe me, anyone, absolutely anyone can become developed. The main thing is to start doing something. The advice that I have included in this video will help you progress in the field of development. So by applying them in practice, you will become smart. At 17, I drank and smoked and did all sorts of crap. I didn't even think about starting to do something really. Now I'm a completely different person because I started my journey from scratch. And this video is exactly where you need to start if you've made it to my video.